Hey folks, we're doing a tasting video for the Meadows Day releases. I've got a special guest brewer here. He's got a relationship with these beers, as you may imagine. Oh wait, he's revealed his identity. It's none other than head brewer Rob Monk. Rob, what's your relationship, particularly other than brewing them, with the actual Yukon beers?
Well, funny enough, I actually worked at Yukon for quite a bit of time. I started my career there, and it was the brewery I was at before I came here.
And these beers, did you touch them, the barrels, in any way?
I would have had a hand in filling those barrels the first time.
Ah, and then you did it again many years later here after they sent us barrels today.
I truly did.
Excellent. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one beer at a time. There are three, and we're going to, for the team, take a tough triple tasting day. I don't know.
Yeah, we might take a...
Which one would you start with?
I would start with the Yukon Meadows. I feel like of the three beers, the base beer shines the most in that particular beer.
Okay, cool. Well, let's do that. All right, get ready. No, it's not that one, not that one. This one, the Yukon Meadows. I will now open it with one of our eye openers. Oh, there we go. And there's the Meadows. Whoa, that was exciting. So this is actually a Meadows that maintains the carbonation, and it did a good job. All right, so let's get a couple of glasses up here. So we'll pour this one first. We're not going to drink the whole 200. We got a few beers to try. These are big, like around 10%, and we're working today. So this is how we do our work.
But I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah, we'll save these for later. All right, so that is the Yukon Meadows. Cheers.
Cheers.
So this is, you'll find with all these beers, very balanced and drinkable. I think when we try these, one of our goals for all the Meadows beers is to really have a beer that's like 10% but really drinkable.
I think that's kind of across the board. That's our approach for all our beers, is a beer should always taste like another one.
Cool. And then so with this beer itself, what stands out to you to this one? What makes you so proud of the Yukon Meadows?
Well, I really feel like we achieved a really nice balance of both the whiskey character and the beer character. Like I say, we started with this one because it has the least amount of like barrel character on top of it. A lot of that chocolate notes from the base beer itself really shines through. But I'm really proud of the level of balance that it shares between the two.
Next, what would you suggest we have?
The next one, I would start with the Buffalo.
All right. And the Buffalo, of course, is Buffalo Trace barrels, which you didn't fill.
No.
But you made this beer.
That's true.
What do you like about this beer?
This one, the bourbon character shines through a lot on this one. It maintains a lot of that base beer quality, but at the same time, that big American bourbon flavor really stands on top of it.
Right. I think it's got like a nice bourbon sweetness in it too, but we should really try it to say for sure. So hold on, let me get ready with, I'm just rearranging. I got a lot to deal with here. I'm rearranging a lot of stuff, making sure I know what I'm doing. All right, next up, let's see if we have another exciting opening. That's sort of just a regular opening. That's more of a regular opening. Very nice. That's always such a satisfying pop when you hear that. All right, so as you recall, this is in a sense, a redo of our 2019 Buffalo Meadows, which was a pretty popular beer. How do you think this stacks up?
I feel like this year's batch shines through a little brighter, a little cleaner, and the bourbon character is a little bit stronger.
One thing, yeah. And almost like there's maybe even a little tiny hint of coconut in there.
I get a lot of coconut.
You get a lot of coconut? Yeah, more so than in the Yukon. Like that's just, it's got that nice sweet bourbon note, man. And I think also the other thing a lot of folks like in these beers is a little bit of salinity in the finish. It's that sort of like little, like salinity meaning saltiness. Some people call me salty, but I call this beer salty.
I've been called salty.
That's fair. But, this one particularly, anything else you know about this beer that you really like?
I really just feel like, again, it maintains that balance. It maintains, it's kind of everything it promises to be. It's beer, it's bourbon, it's got barrel character.
Nice.
Yeah.
Coconut. All right, we're going to try the next one now. And this one, of course, is the peated version. It's interesting because peat is a divisive topic. What's your personal opinion of peat?
I like small amounts of it. I am a mild Scotch drinker, I would say at best. I don't enjoy anything too over the top, but I do actually like that character.
The one thing we didn't do is call out just how phenomenal the two brewers' whiskeys are. Like if you can get their peated whiskey, as a peat lover, all their whiskeys are spectacular. This one in particular for me is really delightful.
I'm obviously a little bit biased as like I played a hand in some of those earlier batches, but I really feel like as far as a Canadian whiskey producer, Two Brewer is very high. Phenomenal.
All right, so this one. All right, here we go. Get ready for some excitement. Hopefully not too much excitement. A little bit of excitement. Very nice. I've learned. I've gotten better with time. So, on to the peated. And this was one of those, with peated beers, you have to be really careful. You can sometimes overdo them, and they get an astringency, they get a harshness, but boy, oh boy, I think Rob and the team did a spectacular job with this one. Cheers. So what really stands out for you in this one?
The first thing I get in this one is the peat. The peat is very much in the front of the flavor of this beer, but after that peat starts to mellow out, you actually get more and more of the base beer itself, which in a smoked beer can be a hard thing to pull off.
Right. So there is a special ingredient that we use in this. What is it?
Well, the special ingredient besides love is actually twofold. We use local honey from Tofield, Alberta, from a company called Meadows Sweet Apiaries, hence Meadows.
Yeah.
We also use their bee pollen.
That's cool. It gives that. What do you think the bee pollen does?
The bee pollen really brings out a nice floral note that otherwise wouldn't be present, and it is fun and jazzy.
There you go, fun and jazzy, just like us. So these are three really interesting beers. If you really want to have the ultimate experience, you try all three of them like this in a sequence. You can go back and forth. The base beer is not overpowering. I think one of the key things we try to do is make a base beer that's not just blows your palate. It subtly interacts with the barrel character, and I feel these releases are amazing. Well, thanks again for your time and the beer you've made us and we can enjoy. Cheers. Cheers.